At 60, if you can still do these 6 things, you're winning at life. Balance and mobility are often taken for granted until they start to decline. At 60, if you can still stand on one foot for 10 seconds, walk upstairs without holding onto a railing, or bend down and pick something up from the floor with ease, you're not just lucky, you're doing something profoundly right. These abilities are key predictors of longevity, quality of life, and independence. A study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine showed that individuals over 50 who couldn't balance on one leg for 10 seconds had nearly double the risk of dying within the next decade. That's how important balance is. But balance and mobility don't just happen. They are built and maintained through consistent physical activity, proper nutrition, and joint care. If you're over 60 and still moving with fluidity, it's a sign your nervous system is well-tuned, your muscles are strong, and your bones are still dependable. The first critical factor in this equation is muscle mass. After the age of 30, most people lose between 3% and 8% of muscle mass per decade. This accelerates after 60. However, resistance training, even just 2 to 3 times per week, can drastically slow or even reverse this trend. Bodyweight exercises like squats, lunges, and push-ups aren't just for young athletes. They're for anyone who wants to live well. If you can get up from the floor without using your hands, that's a powerful indicator of your lower body strength and balance coordination. This seemingly simple act correlates with a reduced risk of all-cause mortality. Mobility flows from flexibility, strength, and joint health. Gentle stretches, yoga, and dynamic movement patterns improve range of motion and prevent stiffness that often comes with age. Being able to twist, reach, or lift your legs without pain isn't just a comfort. It's a gift. Walking speed is another underrated health metric. Research from the Journal of the American Medical Association shows that walking speed is a better predictor of survival than even blood pressure or cholesterol levels in older adults. If you're 60 and can walk briskly for 30 minutes without stopping or panting for breath, your heart, lungs, and muscles are all functioning in harmony. This points to good cardiovascular health and endurance. Joint pain, however, can interfere with this freedom of movement. That's why protecting the joints through low-impact movement, hydration, and anti-inflammatory foods like turmeric, omega-3 fatty acids, and leafy greens is essential. If you're someone who can still kneel, climb, dance, or garden without grimacing, you're winning in an area many others struggle with. Another often overlooked aspect of mobility is the health of the vestibular system, the inner ear mechanism that helps maintain balance. This can be supported with simple exercises like head turns, eye tracking, and balance drills like heel-to-toe walking. If you've never trained this system, starting now can yield surprising benefits. For example, Tai Chi is shown to improve proprioception, the body's sense of where it is in space, and has been widely used in fall prevention programs for seniors. Additionally, ankle and hip strength are central to fall resistance. Weak ankles are one of the most common hidden causes of imbalance, and targeted exercises like toe lifts and side leg raises can make a big difference. Standing on one leg while brushing your teeth, or walking backward in a safe space, are excellent ways to integrate balance training into daily life. Also important is the role of footwear. At 60, supportive shoes with proper arch support, shock absorption, and a secure fit are not just about comfort, they're about protecting your mobility. Shoes that are too soft or too tight can lead to falls, bunions, or hip misalignment. Walking barefoot occasionally, especially on natural surfaces like grass or sand, can also help strengthen foot muscles and improve natural stability. Meanwhile, hydration is critical to mobility. Dehydration stiffens the fascia and joints, reducing your body's ability to move freely. Drinking enough water, along with electrolyte balance, keeps your tissues lubricated and joints functioning smoothly. Sleep also ties into balance. Poor sleep impairs coordination and reaction times, increasing the risk of falls. A well-rested 60-year-old will move more confidently and safely than a sleep-deprived peer. Another interesting finding is that people who dance regularly maintain better balance and spatial awareness than those who don't. Dance requires constant adaptation, rhythm, and micro-corrections, all of which keep your neural pathways sharp. Whether it's salsa, ballroom, or even just dancing in your living room, it's a fun way to stay agile. If you're still able to get down on the floor to play with your grandchildren or your dog, and then stand back up without effort, That's a real-life superpower most don't recognize until it's gone. It's also important to recognize how mental health connects with movement. Depression and anxiety can lead to sedentary behavior, which in turn accelerates physical decline. Regular physical activity boosts mood by increasing endorphins and serotonin, keeping you mentally and physically balanced. If you're 60 and still move like someone in their 40s, chances are your mental state is just as vibrant. Finally, balance is as much about confidence as it is about capability. People who fear falling tend to move cautiously, which ironically increases the risk of falling. But those who feel strong and capable move boldly and age gracefully. Maintaining your ability to move freely, confidently, and without assistance at 60 is not just a physical triumph. It's proof that you're living proactively, protecting your freedom, and investing in your future. Getting quality sleep and waking up refreshed at 60 is not just a bonus. It's a cornerstone of aging well. Sleep is when your body repairs tissue, balances hormones, regulates memory, strengthens the immune system, and clears out toxins from the brain. A strong indicator that you're winning at life past 60 is being able to fall asleep within 15 to 30 minutes. Sleep for 7 to 8 hours without frequent awakenings, and wake up feeling mentally alert and physically rested. According to the National Sleep Foundation, seniors often experience lighter, more fragmented sleep, but that doesn't mean poor sleep is inevitable. In fact, many sleep problems in older adults are caused not by age itself, but by lifestyle habits, environmental disruptions, or undiagnosed sleep disorders. For example, sleep apnea is vastly underdiagnosed in people over 60, and it can lead to chronic fatigue, high blood pressure, and even cognitive decline if untreated. Winning at sleep means understanding and addressing these root causes instead of accepting poor rest as the norm. One of the most powerful tools for maintaining good sleep is establishing a consistent circadian rhythm. This internal clock thrives on regularity, so waking up and going to bed at the same time every day, even on weekends, can reset the body's biological rhythms and dramatically improve sleep quality. Exposure to natural light in the morning, especially within the first hour of waking, helps reinforce this rhythm by suppressing melatonin and boosting cortisol in a healthy way. A 2017 study in the journal Sleep Health found that seniors who got at least 30 minutes of sunlight in the morning slept better and had fewer depressive symptoms. Keeping lights dim in the evening, especially avoiding blue light from screens, encourages melatonin production and signals to your body that it's time to wind down. Maintaining a cool bedroom temperature around 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius, using blackout curtains, and removing noise disturbances are all small steps that can make a big difference in achieving deep, restorative sleep. Another sign that you're thriving at 60 is waking up without pain or stiffness. Morning discomfort often indicates inflammation or poor sleep posture, both of which can be improved. Investing in a high-quality mattress and pillow that supports spinal alignment is a game changer, especially for those with back or neck issues. Side sleeping with a pillow between the knees can reduce pressure on the hips and spine. Regular stretching, yoga, or mobility exercises before bed can reduce muscle tension and promote blood flow, setting the stage for deeper sleep. Magnesium, especially in forms like magnesium glycinate, has been shown to aid in relaxation and reduce nighttime awakenings. Similarly, avoiding caffeine after noon and limiting alcohol, especially within 3 hours of bedtime, prevents sleep disruptions caused by stimulant effects and blood sugar crashes. For many, sleep problems after 60 are related to cortisol dysregulation. Chronic stress or anxiety keeps cortisol levels elevated at night, interfering with melatonin production and leading to restless sleep. Techniques like deep breathing, guided meditation, progressive muscle relaxation, or even journaling before bed can reduce mental chatter and activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode. There's growing evidence that older adults who practice mindfulness or follow a bedtime wind-down routine experience not only better sleep but also improved memory and lower risk of depression. Herbal teas like chamomile, lemon balm, and valerian root have been used for centuries to support sleep, and while they may seem simple, their effectiveness is supported by modern research. Even more, optimizing sleep isn't just about the night. It begins during the day. Physical activity, especially aerobic exercise done earlier in the day, increases the body's need for recovery, thereby deepening sleep stages like slow wave and REM sleep. But timing matters. Vigorous exercise within 2 hours of bedtime can raise body temperature and delay sleep onset. Eating habits also play a major role. Heavy meals late at night force the body to prioritize digestion over restoration. A light, protein-rich evening snack, like Greek yogurt or a boiled egg, can support sleep by stabilizing blood sugar. Certain amino acids, like tryptophan, found in foods such as turkey or pumpkin seeds, help increase serotonin and melatonin levels. Tracking sleep through apps or devices can offer insights into patterns, but it's important not to get too caught up in data. The subjective feeling of waking up refreshed is more meaningful than perfect numbers. Cognitive function is directly tied to sleep quality. The brain consolidates memory during REM cycles, and poor sleep accelerates age-related decline. A 2020 study published in Nature Communications found that people in their 60s and 70s who slept fewer than 6 hours per night showed more beta-amyloid buildup in the brain, a key marker linked to Alzheimer's disease. Prioritizing sleep, therefore, is not just about comfort. It's an act of protection for your cognitive future. Emotional resilience is another benefit. Older adults who sleep well are better equipped to regulate emotions, handle stress, and maintain optimism. If you're 60 and still capable of sleeping deeply through the night and waking with clarity and energy, it reflects the high functioning of multiple bodily systems: neurological, hormonal, metabolic, and cardiovascular. There's also the issue of naps. While short power naps of 10 to 20 minutes can improve alertness and mood, longer or irregular daytime naps can actually disrupt nighttime sleep. If you can stay energized throughout the day without needing to nap excessively, that's a strong sign your circadian rhythm is in balance and your body is managing its energy efficiently. Sleep isn't just a passive state. It's a vital part of how we heal, process, and grow, even into later years. Protecting your sleep is like tuning an instrument. It sets the tone for everything else in your life. And if, at 60, you're able to drift off naturally, sleep deeply, and greet each day with renewed strength and clear-headed enthusiasm, then you're not just getting older, you're mastering the art of aging. A strong, consistent digestive system at 60 is far more than a comfort. It's a foundational marker of internal health and resilience. Digestion impacts everything from immune strength to mood, energy levels, and even cognitive performance. If you're 60 and rarely experience bloating, gas, constipation, or indigestion, that's a major victory in the aging game. Your gut is often referred to as your second brain for good reason. It houses over 70% of your immune cells and produces key neurotransmitters like serotonin. When digestion works smoothly, it indicates that your microbiome, enzymes, stomach acid, and intestinal motility are functioning harmoniously. Unfortunately, digestive issues often become more common with age due to slowed metabolism, decreased stomach acid, a condition called hypochlorhydria, medication side effects, and lifestyle changes. But those who make intentional choices to support their gut can maintain excellent digestion well into their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Fiber is one of the most important elements for digestive health and yet one of the most overlooked. Most adults over 60 get less than half of the recommended daily intake of 25 to 30 grams. Soluble fiber from oats, chia seeds, and legumes slows digestion just enough to allow for proper nutrient absorption, while insoluble fiber from vegetables, whole grains, and fruit skins adds bulk to stool and promotes regular bowel movements. A consistent, pain-free, and effortless trip to the bathroom every day is a top-tier sign of digestive health. If you're not experiencing bloating after meals, that suggests your gut bacteria are balanced and your transit time is optimal. Speaking of gut bacteria, your microbiome is like a garden. It needs variety, nourishment, and the right environment to thrive. Fermented foods like kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, and plain yogurt introduce beneficial bacteria, while prebiotic foods like garlic, onions, bananas, and asparagus feed the good microbes that already live in your intestines. People who can still eat a diverse range of foods without discomfort are likely maintaining a robust gut lining and microbial diversity. This matters because diversity in gut flora has been directly linked with lower rates of inflammation, obesity, and even cognitive decline. Research published in Nature Medicine found that individuals with a rich gut microbiome had healthier blood sugar levels, better metabolism, and lower markers of chronic disease. If you're 60 and can enjoy a fiber-rich salad, digest a high-protein meal, and snack on nuts or fruit without consequence, you're likely benefiting from a digestive system that's still efficient and protective. Proper hydration is another piece of the puzzle. Water aids in the production of digestive enzymes, softens stool, and helps move food through the gastrointestinal tract. Dehydration, which is common among older adults, is a silent contributor to constipation and acid reflux. If you're drinking half your body weight in ounces of water per day and your digestion is running like clockwork, that's a quiet but powerful success. Chewing, though often overlooked, is the first and perhaps most critical step in digestion. As we age, reduced saliva production can interfere with the enzymatic breakdown of food. Taking the time to chew thoroughly not only helps with mechanical digestion but signals to the brain and gut to release the appropriate acids and enzymes. If you're still able to enjoy meals without discomfort, heartburn, or post-meal fatigue, it suggests that your digestion begins correctly, right at the mouth. Beyond food, movement plays a surprisingly big role in how well we digest. Daily walks, light stretching, or yoga can stimulate peristalsis, the wave-like contractions that push food through the intestines. People who live sedentary lifestyles often suffer from slow digestion and bloating. In contrast, those who move regularly and vary their posture throughout the day support natural gut motility. If you're 60 and maintain an active lifestyle, you're helping your gut stay functional and vibrant. Stress management also cannot be ignored when discussing digestion. The gut-brain axis is real. Chronic stress directly impacts digestion by altering the microbiome, reducing blood flow to the intestines, and slowing or accelerating motility depending on the individual. Practices like diaphragmatic breathing, meditation, and even laughing can stimulate the vagus nerve and shift the body into parasympathetic mode, where rest and digest can actually occur. If you're digesting meals well even during life's stressful moments, it means you've likely developed strong nervous system regulation skills. Another often overlooked aspect is enzyme production. As we age, the body may produce fewer digestive enzymes, which leads to incomplete digestion and nutrient malabsorption. Supplementing with digestive enzymes, especially when consuming heavy meals, can assist in breaking down fats, proteins, and carbohydrates efficiently. If you're still absorbing nutrients well, maintaining healthy skin, strong nails, and steady energy, your digestion is probably still highly functional. Let's not forget stomach acid, which tends to decline with age but is crucial for breaking down protein and absorbing minerals like calcium, magnesium, and B12. Many older adults mistakenly take acid-reducing medications for symptoms caused by low, not high stomach acid. If you rarely experience indigestion or reflux, and you're absorbing nutrients effectively without needing excessive supplementation, that's a win. Ginger, apple cider vinegar before meals, or a simple increase in bitter greens like arugula and dandelion can help stimulate natural acid and enzyme production. For some, probiotics play a key role. These beneficial bacteria help keep harmful microbes in check and support immune function. But they're most effective when paired with a fiber-rich diet. If you're 60 and can enjoy fermented foods without discomfort, and you experience fewer seasonal colds or infections, that's often due to a strong gut immune connection. Digestive strength is also reflected in energy levels. When your gut is functioning well, your body isn't constantly expending extra resources trying to manage inflammation or eliminate waste. You feel lighter, clearer, and more energized throughout the day. Skin health is another external sign. Frequent breakouts, dullness, or redness can be linked to gut dysbiosis or food intolerances. If your skin glows, your eyes are clear, and your breath is neutral, those are signs your digestion is supporting systemic health. Additionally, the timing and spacing of meals matter. Digestive processes thrive with predictable rhythms. Eating at similar times each day and allowing space between meals supports the migrating motor complex, a wave-like cleaning mechanism that occurs between meals. Constant grazing interferes with this and can lead to fermentation, bloating, and bacterial overgrowth. If your meals leave you satisfied and energized without the need for constant snacking, your digestion is well-regulated and adaptive. It's also worth noting that being able to enjoy food without fear is a sign of digestive confidence. So many older adults restrict entire food groups out of worry: dairy, gluten, fats, often without medical necessity. But those who maintain dietary variety and eat mindfully, listening to their body's cues instead of food rules, usually have a more robust and flexible digestive system. If you're 60 and can enjoy a shared meal without worrying about discomfort later, that's not only a digestive success. It's a social and emotional one, too. In essence, a thriving digestive system at 60 is a quiet engine that supports nearly every aspect of your well-being. It helps you absorb life, literally, and allows your body to take in nourishment, remove waste, and maintain balance. If you can eat, digest, and eliminate with ease, without bloating, fatigue, or pain, then you are absolutely winning at life. Having a sharp, focused, and reliable memory at 60 is more than just a mental perk. It's one of the strongest indicators of long-term cognitive resilience and overall brain health. While it's common for aging adults to experience minor forgetfulness, like occasionally misplacing keys or momentarily blanking on a name, the ability to retain information, engage in thoughtful conversation, recall details with clarity, and learn new skills is a sign that your brain is aging optimally. A well-functioning memory system reflects the integrity of your hippocampus, the balance of your neurotransmitters, and the overall health of your vascular and lymphatic systems. In fact, recent studies from institutions like Harvard Medical School and the Alzheimer's Association have shown that cognitive decline is not inevitable with age. It is highly influenced by lifestyle factors, many of which are modifiable. If you're 60 and can read a book and remember its key takeaways, recall your appointments without relying solely on reminders, or engage in mentally complex tasks like strategy games, writing, or problem-solving, you're not just fortunate, you're likely doing the right things to protect and nurture your brain. Physical exercise is one of the most important, evidence-backed strategies to preserve memory. Regular aerobic activity like brisk walking, cycling, or swimming increases blood flow to the brain, particularly the hippocampus, and stimulates the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that supports neurogenesis and synaptic plasticity. When you move your body, you help your brain stay young. In fact, a 2021 study published in the Journal of Neurology confirmed that seniors who engaged in physical activity 3 to 5 times a week had significantly better memory retention and slower brain aging than their sedentary peers. Equally important is sleep. During deep non-REM stages, your brain clears out amyloid plaques, consolidates short-term memories into long-term ones, and resets neural networks. A sharp memory at 60 is often built on a foundation of consistent quality sleep over many years. Nutrition also plays a powerful role. Diets rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and polyphenol, such as those found in fatty fish, walnuts, blueberries, leafy greens, and olive oil, support neuronal health and reduce inflammation. The MIND diet, a blend of the Mediterranean and DASH diets, has been shown to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's by up to 53% when followed consistently. If you're 60 and fueling your brain with nutrient-dense foods while avoiding processed sugars and trans fats, you're protecting your mental edge more than most. Just as important is hydration. Even mild dehydration, just a 1 to 2% drop in body water, can impair concentration, slow processing speed, and reduce working memory. Drinking enough water and balancing electrolytes ensures your brain cells fire properly and communicate efficiently. Mental stimulation is another pillar of cognitive vitality. Lifelong learners, those who take courses, read regularly, or pursue hobbies that require concentration and problem-solving, are more likely to maintain mental sharpness into older age. Learning a new language, picking up a musical instrument, or even trying out a complex recipe can stimulate new neural pathways and increase brain resilience. If you're 60 and still seeking out novelty, challenge, and complexity, you're likely building what neuroscientists call cognitive reserve, a buffer that helps your brain stay functional even in the face of age-related changes or pathology. Social engagement is equally crucial. Conversation, debate, storytelling, and laughter all stimulate the brain and enhance memory through the use of language, emotion, and interpersonal cues. In fact, socially isolated seniors are significantly more likely to develop dementia, according to studies from the National Institute on Aging. Mindfulness and meditation practices have also been shown to improve memory and attention. Regular meditation increases gray matter density in areas related to memory and emotional regulation. Techniques like focused breathing or body scans train the mind to stay present, reducing cognitive fatigue and increasing mental clarity. Stress reduction is vital because chronic stress elevates cortisol levels, which can shrink the hippocampus and impair memory formation. People who practice emotional regulation, deep breathing, or gratitude journaling tend to have better memory retention and mental performance than those who remain in a state of chronic overwhelm. If you're 60 and capable of staying calm under pressure, quickly refocusing your attention, and remembering details in the midst of life's noise, you're cultivating one of the most valuable skills for long-term brain health. Another underrated factor in memory health is metabolic function. Insulin resistance and poor glucose regulation, often precursors to type 2 diabetes, have been strongly linked to cognitive decline. The term type 3 diabetes has even been coined by researchers to describe Alzheimer's due to its metabolic underpinnings. A balanced diet with low glycemic impact, regular physical activity, and healthy sleep habits can all improve insulin sensitivity and, by extension, brain function. If you can eat a carb-rich meal without crashing or fogging over mentally, your metabolic and neurological systems are likely working in tandem. Brain training games and apps can also help, but their benefits are often exaggerated. The most powerful cognitive tools are still found in real-life interactions and challenges that involve attention, memory, language, and emotion together. Sensory health also influences memory more than most people realize. Hearing loss, for example, forces the brain to work harder to decode sounds, which diverts resources away from memory and comprehension. If you've maintained your hearing and vision health, whether through protection, early intervention, or the use of quality devices, you're supporting your memory by keeping your sensory systems sharp. Additionally, gut health affects brain health. The gut-brain axis allows for two-way communication, meaning inflammation or microbial imbalance in the digestive tract can impair cognition and memory. If you've prioritized gut health through a diverse, whole food diet and a low-stress lifestyle, you're supporting your brain in quiet but powerful ways. One of the simplest tests of memory strength is the ability to remember names, dates, and specific conversations without prompts. If you regularly surprise people by remembering what they told you weeks ago, or you can easily recall historical events, birthdays, or practical facts, it shows that your short-term and long-term memory systems are functioning smoothly. Equally telling is the ability to multitask and return to your original focus without confusion. People with strong executive function can switch between tasks and hold mental frameworks without losing track of what they were doing. If you're 60 and able to handle daily planning, manage appointments, and juggle complex responsibilities without notes everywhere, your brain is in excellent working order. Curiosity and creativity are also reflections of brain health. A curious mind is often a sharp one. It shows the brain is still eager to grow, connect, and explore. If you're still asking questions, reading outside your usual genres, experimenting with ideas, or creating art, stories, or music, that intellectual engagement is actively protecting your memory. Lastly, confidence in your mental capacity breeds more cognitive strength. People who believe they can stay sharp often do because their habits, mindset, and choices reflect that belief. If you're 60 and still trust your memory to guide you, support your work or hobbies, and help you connect deeply with others, you are not just remembering the past. You're shaping a vibrant, mentally alive future. Keeping a stable, healthy weight and body composition at 60 is one of the clearest indicators that your metabolism, hormones, lifestyle habits, and internal systems are functioning in sync, and it sets the foundation for long-term vitality and disease prevention. While weight alone isn't the sole marker of health, maintaining a healthy ratio of muscle to fat, a stable waist circumference, and a metabolic profile free of red flags like high blood sugar or excessive visceral fat is a sign that you're aging with intention and care. At this stage of life, many people experience age-related weight gain due to a natural drop in muscle mass, changes in hormone levels, decreased activity, and shifts in insulin sensitivity. However, those who continue to maintain a healthy body composition typically do so through consistent habits, not short-term fixes. A 60-year-old who can wear the same belt notch year after year, move with ease, and manage their energy and appetite without extreme measures is winning in a quiet yet profound way. Body composition matters more than the number on the scale. Two individuals of the same weight can have drastically different health outcomes depending on their muscle-to-fat ratio, distribution of fat, and overall metabolic function. Lean muscle helps regulate glucose, burn calories at rest, and support functional movement, while excess visceral fat, especially around the abdomen, has been strongly linked to increased risks of cardiovascular disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. If you're 60 and carry your weight in a balanced way without excess fat accumulation in the midsection, it's a sign your body is still metabolically flexible and hormonally responsive. Resistance training is one of the most powerful tools to maintain this balance. Lifting weights, using resistance bands, or performing bodyweight exercises 2 to 4 times per week helps preserve lean tissue and keeps metabolism active. Studies have shown that even people in their 70s and 80s can build muscle when training consistently and eating properly. Nutrition plays a crucial role in sustaining healthy weight and body composition. A diet high in protein supports muscle maintenance, while fiber-rich foods keep digestion regular and blood sugar stable. People who prioritize whole, unprocessed foods, like leafy greens, berries, legumes, nuts, lean proteins, and healthy fats, tend to naturally maintain their weight without rigid dieting. They experience fewer cravings, improved satiety, and less inflammation. Highly processed foods, sugar-laden snacks, and empty carbohydrates hijack the brain's reward system, making it harder to regulate hunger and fullness cues. If you're 60 and have cultivated a diet that leaves you energized, satisfied, and not ruled by food impulses, you've built a powerful level of metabolic intelligence. Portion control also becomes more important with age. Since calorie needs decline slightly due to reduced basal metabolic rate, being mindful of portions without falling into scarcity mindsets is essential. Hydration supports weight stability in subtle but powerful ways. Drinking water before meals can help regulate appetite, support digestion, and prevent unnecessary snacking mistaken for hunger. Moreover, dehydration can slow metabolic processes and increase water retention, leading to fluctuations in weight and bloating. People who stay hydrated, limit sugary beverages, and moderate alcohol intake tend to have more consistent weight and clearer energy patterns. Another often overlooked factor is hormonal balance. At 60, shifts in estrogen, testosterone, thyroid hormones, and cortisol can dramatically influence where fat is stored and how easily it's burned. Those who address hormone imbalances through diet, exercise, sleep, and stress management, sometimes with the guidance of a functional medicine provider, often find it easier to maintain a healthy body composition. If your body still feels predictable and responsive, and your weight doesn't swing dramatically from week to week, you're likely hormonally aligned. Sleep is also tightly tied to weight stability. Poor sleep disrupts hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin, leading to increased cravings and reduced satiety. It also impairs insulin sensitivity, which can result in elevated blood sugar and fat storage. A 2022 study from the University of Chicago found that adults who slept fewer than 6 hours per night consumed more calories from fats and sugar the following day. If you're sleeping well and waking up without feeling ravenous or sluggish, that's a sign your sleep and metabolism are working together efficiently. Stress management matters too. Chronically high cortisol levels drive fat storage, particularly in the abdominal area. People who meditate, journal, take walks, or engage in calming hobbies often see more stable weight over time, because their body isn't constantly in a survival mode of energy storage. Movement outside the gym is just as important. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis, NEAT. The calories you burn through walking, standing, fidgeting, gardening, cleaning, or taking the stairs can make a significant difference in long-term weight management. People who move throughout the day tend to maintain a leaner physique than those who are sedentary, even if both groups exercise for 30 minutes. If you're 60 and still choosing to walk to the store, take the stairs, or stretch while watching TV, you're keeping your energy expenditure high in a sustainable way. Gut health also plays a part in weight regulation. An imbalanced microbiome can lead to increased cravings, inflammation, and poor blood sugar control. People with diverse gut flora tend to have better weight management and mood stability. If your digestion is consistent and your cravings feel balanced, your gut is likely supporting your weight regulation efforts. A healthy body composition also supports mobility, confidence, and independence. Being able to walk, lift, bend, and reach without excess strain or fatigue allows for a more active and fulfilling life. Those carrying excess weight often find daily tasks more taxing, which in turn leads to reduced activity and a negative feedback loop. Maintaining a lean and strong frame interrupts this cycle and keeps you functional, agile, and empowered. If you're 60 and don't feel winded from basic chores or movements, your body is aligned with your goals and daily needs. Regular health screenings like blood pressure checks, lipid panels, and waist-to-hip ratio assessments provide insight into whether your weight is truly healthy, not just visually or numerically, but biologically. People with healthy body composition often show balanced triglyceride levels, stable fasting glucose, and low inflammatory markers. Body acceptance is another element worth noting. Many people chase a specific number on the scale at the expense of their health, joy, or sustainability. Winning at life isn't about being a certain size, it's about how you feel, move, and live. If you found a healthy weight where your energy is steady, your clothes fit comfortably, and you feel confident in your body's ability to support your lifestyle, you're exactly where you need to be. Importantly, being free from the cycle of chronic dieting and weight obsession is a huge mental victory. People who've learned to nourish rather than punish their bodies often experience long-term peace, consistency, and vitality. Hormone-supportive habits like lifting weights, eating enough healthy fats, avoiding environmental toxins, and managing stress all work together to keep weight stable. When your internal systems are working for you, your body tends to settle at a healthy weight without extreme effort. If you're 60 and not constantly thinking about food, weight, or your appearance, yet your health markers are solid and your energy is strong, that's a rare and impressive balance. Sustainable habits beat perfection every time. Those who move consistently, eat mindfully, rest deeply, and enjoy life fully tend to have bodies that reflect those values. They age slower, recover faster, and stay independent longer. So if you're 60 and your weight, energy, and physical confidence have remained consistent over time, without the drama of fad diets, burnout, or body distrust, then you've achieved a level of health that far exceeds the surface. Living with a sense of purpose and daily energy at 60 is perhaps the most profound and often underestimated marker of well-being, resilience, and life satisfaction. While physical health is measurable through tests and metrics, the inner fire that fuels your days, the excitement to get up in the morning, contribute to something meaningful, and engage with life fully, is a deeper kind of vitality that reflects harmony between the body, mind, and spirit. Numerous studies, including those published in journals like The Lancet and Psychosomatic Medicine, have found that people who report a strong sense of purpose have lower risks of heart disease, stroke, cognitive decline, and even early death. Purpose isn't about having a grand career or changing the world. It's about feeling that your actions matter, that you're connected to something greater than yourself, and that your presence makes a difference. If you're 60 and still feel driven, curious, and committed to something, whether it's your family, a creative pursuit, a volunteer role, or even personal growth, you are not just aging, you're thriving. Daily energy is often a direct reflection of emotional alignment and biological rhythm. People with purpose tend to have more energy not simply because they sleep better or eat healthier, although those are important, but because their mental and emotional systems are engaged. When you're mentally invested in your day, your brain produces more dopamine and serotonin, enhancing mood and motivation. Purpose also buffers against stress by providing context. Challenges are seen as part of a bigger mission rather than random inconveniences. At 60, people with a strong sense of direction often experience fewer symptoms of depression, are more socially active, and tend to recover faster from setbacks. They also make healthier choices, not from fear, but from a desire to stay well enough to continue pursuing what they love. If you wake up with clarity about how you want to use your day, and you move with intention instead of drifting aimlessly, your life force is alive and strong. Energy is not just physical, it's also emotional and spiritual. Many people at 60 feel drained not because they lack sleep or nutrition, but because they're carrying unresolved emotions, unprocessed grief, or have lost touch with joy. Emotional fatigue is real, and those who prioritize emotional hygiene, through practices like journaling, therapy, meaningful conversation, or creative expression, often experience a revitalization of energy. If you're still laughing, still dreaming, and still open to surprise at 60, Your emotional system is dynamic and receptive. Spiritual energy, too, plays a role. Whether through religious practice, meditation, connection with nature, or philosophical reflection, people who connect to something transcendent often report more peace, stamina, and inner strength. A Japanese study from the Blue Zones, the regions of the world with the highest number of centenarians, found that ikigai, or reason for being, was a common trait among the healthiest elders. If you know why you wake up every morning and what you're living for, your energy becomes self-sustaining. Relationships fuel purpose and energy as well. At 60, the quality of your social connections becomes a defining feature of your health trajectory. Meaningful relationships provide emotional nourishment, accountability, and a sense of belonging that's crucial for both mental and physical health. People who feel seen, valued, and loved often have higher levels of oxytocin and lower markers of inflammation. If you're still maintaining deep friendships, participating in your community, or mentoring others, you're cultivating a legacy and drawing energy from shared humanity. Loneliness, on the other hand, is a major risk factor for fatigue, depression, and chronic disease. Choosing to stay socially connected, even when it requires effort, is a health strategy as vital as any diet or exercise plan. Energy also stems from creative engagement. When you're involved in something that challenges your mind and stimulates curiosity, be it painting, writing, gardening, woodworking, or solving problems, you tap into flow states where time disappears and your brain operates at peak efficiency. This kind of engagement replenishes rather than drains energy. People who are still learning, building, or creating at 60 often show brain scans comparable to those 20 years younger in key cognitive areas. Purpose also sharpens your focus. When you care deeply about something, you're more likely to cut through distractions and align your time with your values. This alignment prevents burnout and increases satisfaction because your actions feel meaningful rather than obligatory. If you're 60 and your day includes moments where you're completely absorbed in what you're doing, you're operating from a place of genuine vitality. Self-care becomes more powerful and consistent when rooted in purpose. When you see your body as the vehicle for living out your mission, whether that's caring for others, exploring the world, or enjoying each moment, you're more likely to move it, nourish it, and rest it properly. You don't take your health for granted because you know it enables the life you love. If you're still motivated to walk, stretch, cook, hydrate, or take supplements, not from fear but from enthusiasm, you're embodying a relationship with health that is sustainable and joyful. Purpose also provides resilience during difficult times. Those with a strong sense of meaning are more likely to persevere, adapt, and even grow through hardship because they have something to hold on to. Their energy isn't just dependent on good circumstances, it's rooted in who they are and what they value. At 60, embracing purpose often involves reflection. You've lived long enough to see patterns, learn from mistakes, and identify what truly matters. Many people in this stage experience what psychologists call generativity, a desire to give back, share wisdom, and leave a positive mark. This stage of life can be profoundly energizing, especially when you feel that your experiences have value beyond yourself. If you're mentoring, teaching, parenting, volunteering, or simply modeling kindness and patience, you're transferring purpose into the world around you. This transfer, in turn, energizes you. Physical energy also improves with emotional congruence. When your daily actions match your values, there's less internal conflict, which reduces mental fatigue. If you're 60 and not constantly second-guessing or regretting your decisions, that clarity frees up a tremendous amount of energy for presence and creativity. It's also worth noting that people with purpose tend to take more initiative in their health. They're more likely to get screenings, follow medical advice, and engage in preventive care, not out of fear, but because they want to stay capable and vibrant. This mindset becomes a powerful motivator, keeping people engaged in long-term habits that compound over time. If you're still excited about the future, still making plans, or even starting new projects at 60, it shows that your life force hasn't dimmed. It's evolving. Rest, too, is part of this picture. People with energy know how to recharge. They listen to their bodies, set boundaries, and honor downtime without guilt. If you're able to rest without spiraling into anxiety or guilt, and then rise the next day with focus and motivation, your energy ecosystem is well calibrated. And finally, purpose provides a compass. In a world of endless information and constant distraction, knowing what matters to you acts as a filter that preserves your attention, protects your peace, and directs your energy wisely. If you're 60 and still know what you stand for, what you believe in, and what brings you joy, if you live each day with a sense of gratitude and forward motion, you are not just surviving, you are winning at life in a way that many strive for but few achieve.